5 minutes left before my appointment to donate blood. I am here, I'm nervous, and I ate that lasagna with those ground beef pieces for iron, because for some time, like from 18 to about like 20 something, I used to get really lightheaded because I think I was iron deficient. So then I started drinking like green smoothies with spinach and stuff like that. And then I tried to be like vegetarian, so then I stopped eating meat for iron, and I didn't really eat beans and stuff to get iron. I think there's iron in legumes, right? But I didn't. So anyway, I would get super lightheaded all the time. But I haven't been that way in a long time, so hopefully that's not going to affect me. But anyway, I filled up a rapid pass, which is like a 30-something questionnaire thing that you can do the day of the donation. And it just asks you like your medical history, kind of brief medical history if you're taking medicine, if you've been exposed to someone that are taking medicine, for like your sexual activity with someone that could have HIV, things like that. So I think they go through it again or something, but I completed that like in 5 minutes before I left the house. And yeah, I think the next step is to kind of review that with the person that works there and donate my blood. I'm so nervous. It said to hydrate a lot before you leave, so I did that, but maybe stop drinking water like the last 45 minutes or so, just so I wouldn't have to go to the bathroom here. But yeah, I'm gonna go in now. I'm also on my period, but I don't think that really affects it. Still fresh in my mind, I donated blood. It was 16 ounces of blood at a Montrose church. I've never been in this area before. There's like mansions up here. I'm at a park now, and basically you do the questionnaire, you get there, and then you sit for a few minutes. I think they like round up all the people around the same hour of the appointment, have them sit down, and then the nurse will come by, take each appointment one by one. I think there were, or not one by one, but each nurse has one person at a time. And I think there were like 6 nurses, or 6 phlebotomists, I want to say. And they were very quick. You get there, you sit down once you speak with a phlebotomist, and they ask you some questions to verify that things haven't changed since you confirmed and completed the questionnaire. Just like a few more questions, and then after that they lay you down and you give blood. And I think the giving blood process, like cleansing the area, and then they stick the needle in you, and there's like a little tube. It's actually kind of a thick tube, thicker than I thought it would be. And you can really see the color of your blood. It's like through the tube, it's like ruby red. It's a beautiful color, actually, my blood. So then she says to squeeze this little sponge ball, or square sponge, like every few seconds. So I was like, 1, 2, 3, squeeze, 1, 2, 3, squeeze. And then I was like, no, I'm probably doing it wrong. I should do 1, 2, 3, squeeze, 1, 2, 3, squeeze. I pretty much did that for like, I want to say either 5 to 8 minutes. And halfway through, she comes by again, the phlebotomist, and just say, oh, you're halfway through. And then after that, they asked me if it was my first time, and I said yes. They're like, okay, don't get up yet, we'll like tell you to get up in a few minutes. So she just gave me the after donating instructions, and I gave blood with my right arm because I didn't want to just be out there with all my tattoos showing. But now I'm like, I should have given it with my left arm, so that, because I use my right arm a lot, and it's just like all this bandage right here. You can't see it in my shirt, but I have aftercare instructions, and I got a blood donor ID number. And basically I wash off the red bandage, or I take off the red bandage, wash off the sticky parts, in an hour, and then in 4 hours I can take off the white bandage and wash it with soap and water, and hopefully I don't have bruising. I am taking off the red bandage now. I'm supposed to wash it off, or wash the adhered part, like the sticky part, so you don't get a rash. But I just spent an hour at the park, so I don't have the option to do that. But that's cool that they make it so that it's easy to differentiate which one you can take off by the red and the white tape. Can't even rip it off. Got a red bracelet. Woo! So you're supposed to take that off and then wash this part. I actually don't have it's not sticky at all because I have hair. Lots of hair. It feels really soft, so I'm gonna just throw this away. And in 4 hours I will take this bandage off, and then I will wash it with soap and water. And they said if there are complications, it could happen in 15 minutes after you get blood, or several hours later, but it usually subsides, or usually, you know, sorts itself out. Oh yeah, so before you get blood, while you're doing the last few questions with them, when you're still sitting down, they actually prick your finger to see what your iron level is. If it's too low, I think they might advise you not to give blood. But she said my iron levels are really good. It was 14.1, which I don't really know what that means in relation to what is low and what is not good, but I was so worried about the iron levels, so I'm really glad it was good and normal. If you're thinking about donating blood, you should do it. You're helping people. Hopefully I will get my COVID test too. I didn't ask about that because I was too afraid to ask questions, but I got this. I'm gonna drink this in later. But yeah, they had like little vending machine type size snacks, like Famous Amos and like, I don't know, other stuff I don't really want. Okay, so I've been so busy, so I haven't had the time to film the talking points. I donated blood on the 5th, August 5th, and I got my results officially on August 9th on the American Red Cross Blood Bank app. And they're supposed to like update your app account results in 48 hours, and then once I got there, you have like the little Q code that you have the nurse or the phlebotomist scan. So I thought all my appointment information would immediately be on there, but it wasn't. And after 48 hours, I kept checking it. My appointment record wasn't even on there. So I made a request for them to look at my account because they were supposed to actually have the results of my blood test, or the blood being tested for COVID-19, updated within 48 hours. So it wasn't. So after, 96 hours on the 9th, I looked up the app in the morning and I realized all of my results were updated. And for the COVID-19 antibody test, I tested negative. And then you can also look at your blood journey. You can see where your blood was going to be taken, and last I checked it was being tested for other things, but I am blood type A+, I believe, and I tested negative for COVID-19 again. And the next time that I can donate blood, a pint of blood again, would be September 30th, which I'm not really sure if I'm going to do it again because the 48 hours following the appointment, I actually kind of felt like I always have a runny nose in the morning because we live in a very dry area, and then it gets really hot as well, so we turn on the AC, and being in the AC apartment and then going outside walking the dogs, and that like really fucks up my nose, so my nose is really running in the morning, and that's normal. But on top of that, I felt like my throat was kind of getting dry, but I didn't have any coughs or anything like that. But I felt like those two things would fall in line with symptoms of a cold. So I was looking up, like, is it normal to have cold symptoms after donating blood? And I actually saw the same question, but the only response that I got on that forum that I saw was this person saying, oh, if you donated blood and you have cold symptoms, you need to let the blood bank know right away because they could be donating blood that is getting sick or something. Obviously I've experienced having cold before, so it wasn't that drastic. It was just like super slight that it almost kind of threw me off a little bit. I don't know what it was, but it's completely gone. I feel fine. Would I do it again? Definitely. But I just hope that those symptoms are not related, is caused by, but I guess we'll find out when I do it again. Pretty cool experience. A pint of blood is a pint, you know, it's like a pint of beer. So I gave that much blood. And it's kind of crazy to think that a whole glass of beer full of blood, a whole beer glass full of blood could come out of me and I could be exactly the same person, feeling the same. It's kind of crazy that can happen. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I post videos twice a week, and I will see you in my next one. Peace. If you would like videos like this, although I don't know if I'm going to continue keep making like how to donate blood or I donated blood experience. I'm not going to keep doing that. I'm going to run out of blood.